Okay, guys, I'm going to take this opportunity to explain to you how to get a U.S. green card using the national interest waiver using Form I-140. So to get a green card using this method, you have to prove about four things, basically, or four groups of things. They are that you have an advanced degree, or that you have exceptional ability. So an advanced degree, you have to prove that you have an advanced degree, which is a bachelor's degree and 5 years of experience in the field. That's categorized as an advanced degree according to this policy, this law, and then a master's degree. And anything above a master's degree, a PhD, Juris Doctorate degree. By proving that you have a master's degree and upwards, you don't have to prove the experience that is required in this section. So in the exceptional ability, if you're not proving the advanced degree, you can prove the other one, which is exceptional ability. And the exceptional ability does not require, it's not mandatory to prove that you have an advanced degree. But you can use some degree or certificate and educational accomplishment to prove exceptional ability, but it's not mandatory, or it's not the only way to prove exceptional ability. So for the national interest waiver, the first prong to prove is, one, you have an advanced degree, or two, that you have exceptional ability in the arts, sciences, business, and those types of fields, practically any field, sports, those types of fields, and so forth. So that's the first prong that you prove. You pick one. Which one do you think you can prove the easiest? Can you prove advanced degree easier, or can you prove exceptional ability easier? You choose. And this makes it more broad. So I would say a lot of people overseas are able to get a green card easier this way than the other ways that are available to get a green card, because it's so broad. Basically. And then, now after that first prong, the second prong is to prove that you have an idea that is of national importance and substantial merit. Let me explain national importance. National importance, according to the law, is that whatever you're doing has a substantial impact in a field or in the country in general. You're making a field of study, whether it's science, whether it's math, whether it's technology, whether it's engineering, whether it's in the art, whether it's in sports, or whatever field that you're in, you are actually impacting that field in a substantial way. So national importance is not just location, geographic, it's not limited to geographic location, it's also applicable to a field. You're advancing a field. So let's say I'm advancing the field of social science, basically, as a criminologist, as a sociologist, as a victimologist, or as an attorney. You're advancing that field by expanding service, like in crime victim advocacy, basically, a field where usually visitors come here and they may be victims to crimes, but they're just visiting and they're returning home. These people would be entitled to certain benefits while they're overseas from the U.S., but they don't know. And most endeavors, businesses, entities, they don't cater for those types of people because they already left. They're gone. So for me now, I'm expressing, hey, it's important to continue to provide these types of victims who are just visiting the U.S. with these types of benefits they qualify for because of certain victimization. So something like that could actually be of national importance because it's advancing something that is important to the U.S. government. The U.S. Department of Justice, OVW, Office of Violence Against Women, said that this is important to them, victims' rights and victims' benefit. So that is like, that's a definition or explanation of what national importance is. And then to prove a substantial merit is, does your idea solve a problem? Does it help in solving a problem? It has a substantial impact. It solves some major problem, or some major problem, basically. So that is substantial merit. So your idea, which is the second prong, must have national importance and substantial merit. I think if you prove national importance, you automatically prove substantial merit. I'm not sure if you prove substantial merit, you prove national importance. But I think the latter, the first, national importance, automatically gets you into the element of national importance and substantial merit. So that's prong 2 that you prove in this situation. The third prong that you prove is that you are well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor. And endeavor mean it could be a business, it could be a not-for-profit, it could be anything like that. So it doesn't have to be a business to maximize profit. It could be a not-for-profit organization. So that's why the fancy term in the law is used called endeavor. Whatever your endeavor is, whatever your idea is, whatever your entity is, whatever you classify your entity as long as it is of national importance and substantial merit. And as long as you are well positioned, because that's the third element, that you're well positioned to advance the proposed endeavor, the proposed idea. As long as you're there. So you can prove that you are by showing, hey, I have a degree in the area, so obviously I'm well positioned to advance it. I have the knowledge to do what I say I would like to do. So that's showing well positioned. Well positioned can also be proven by showing you have the funds, by showing you have the resources, the experience, and so forth to advance your idea into an actual entity. But remember this. To be approved, you don't have to prove that the entity has begun, that you started your entity. You don't have to prove that. You only have to prove that you are able, that you're well positioned to advance it. You don't even have to prove that it's going to be successful. You don't have to prove that that it's already started, but you're going to get points and credit to show that you have started. So any progress towards achieving the entity is points to show that you're well positioned to advance the proposed idea. Because if you can show that you are that you are started it, then you're well positioned. Basically, you're starting it. There's some progress in it. So that's the other element. That's element number 3. And then the last and final element is that you have to apply for a labor certification, labor process. But under the NIW National Interest Waiver, you can apply for a waiver of that requirement, which is you have to submit an application to the Labor Department, stating the job in which you're going to do in the U.S., that they can't find employees in the U.S. to do the job, which is a long, tedious, complicated process. So under the National Interest Waiver, you don't have to prove that and wait for an approval from the U.S. government. What you just do is you have to show that the idea that you have is of benefit to the U.S. It's of substantial benefit to the U.S. Basically, the U.S. or the U.S. government, it's beneficial. And if you prove that it's beneficial and maybe it's urgent or it's impractical to seek a job offer first, then they may waive that. The PERM, the labor certification, they'll waive it, and you no longer have to seek a person to employ you, you're now petitioning for yourself. So you're a self-petitioner. You're a person applying for U.S. benefits for yourself, a green card for yourself, not be dependent on somebody to apply for those benefits for you. And that is empowering. That's important. That's beneficial. You're filing it for yourself, and not have to face the uncertainty or being treated a particular way or abused or something like that because you're dependent on another person or entity to file for you. So the national interest waiver is so beneficial. It's so important. To me, it's one of the best immigration laws out there because it allows you to apply for yourself and not be dependent on somebody. And secondly, you don't have to have an advanced degree to apply for it. You can just prove exceptional ability in other ways without proving advanced degree. And I guess I'll give you some ways to prove exceptional ability. So on the list, this is like the first prong, but like I said, you can prove it through advanced degree or exceptional ability. Exceptional ability has 6 elements that you have to use to prove exceptional ability. And you have to pick 3 or prove 3 out of the 6. And I'm going from my memory. I've been talking here from my memory. So excuse me if I fumble a little bit. But out of the 6, you have to prove 3. I'm certain about that. Now I'm going to go based on my memory on what the 6 are. So the 6 elements are 1, you can prove that you have a certificate, a diploma, or some award from an educational institution within the field of your business idea, of your endeavor. That's 1. If you can prove that, you just met 1 out of the 3 from the 6. Then number 2, you have to prove that you have you have experience, at least 10 years of experience in this field. At least 10 years of experience in the field. So you have number 1, you have a educational certificate or award or even a degree, whichever, in the field. So that means it could be an associate's degree that you want to put towards your exceptional ability requirement. Or number 2, what did I say number 2 was? Number 2 is that my mind just went blank just like that, but I'll remember. Or number 2, or I'll skip that number 2. My mind just went blank. But number 3 is that you are being paid. Number 2 was 10 years of experience. So you can prove that you have 10 years of experience in your field. And number 3, you can prove that you have a high payment in your area. So if you prove that you've been working, let's say that 10 years of experience, and people are paying you big amount of money, above normal pay for that field of study, for that professional field, then you'll be able to prove that you have exceptional ability because you're getting higher than the normal pay in that area or that field. So that's number 3. Can you prove any of those or all of those? If so, you're in a very good position. And then number 4, you can prove that you're in an organization. You prove that you're in an organization, an association or organization, and you're in there because of your exceptional ability. So you can prove that maybe you're in, the best example I can give is like you're part of the Oscar or the Grammy or something. And you're part of it because of your exceptional ability, of your talent. You are above average, basically. So any association for crime victims' rights, or association in psychology, or association in, chief of police, or association in technology, one of those organizations, and they usually have people in them, or you're in them because of your expertise, because of your exceptional ability, then you have just proven exceptional ability by association because you're in this association. So that's, I think, number 4 I'm at. And then number 5 is license. You have a license or certificate to do what it is you say you're going to do. That's good evidence. So let's use hairdresser. You have exceptional ability in hairstylist, or you're a stylist, or you're interior decorator or something like that. You prove that you have, those types of, my mind just went blank again. The lady just passed by. You prove that you have those exceptional abilities, then you can meet 3 out of the 6 requirements. And then the last element is that you're able to prove alternate evidence. So the law allows you to provide them with other types of evidence of your exceptional ability. So out of the 6, you don't have to provide evidence of those 6. You can provide evidence of others, but you have to explain clearly and logically why those regulatory criteria doesn't apply to you. You have to prove why those regulatory criteria doesn't apply, basically. So I basically would tell you to explain why whichever criteria it is doesn't apply to you, basically. That's how it would, it would be good and beneficial, because the law allows you to, I was distracted because they're hiding their face, I don't know why. But the law allows you to basically to provide alternate evidence, because the field that you're in, those requirements or elements may not be available, may not be applicable to that field, basically. So I'm saying that the best thing to do is to provide whatever evidence that you have, but you have to, the law also states you have to give a detailed explanation on why the preferred type of evidence, the preferred criteria, the regulatory criteria doesn't apply to you. And that's why you then would have to provide your alternate evidence and your alternate evidence and your explanation on why the other criteria doesn't apply to you. And that's literally how you get a green card, based on exceptional ability or national interest or advanced degree, which is called National Interest Waiver, NIW, basically. So that is that. I just literally explained the entire thing to you, and you can provide, again, alternate evidence, comparable evidence, if you don't have the preferred type or the regulatory criteria type kind of evidence. National interest waiver explained to you. I know there's a lot of people in the Caribbean that qualifies based on this. And the degrees that you get overseas, you get degrees from the Caribbean colleges and university, they're applicable here. They're accepted here. They're accepted in this regulation, basically, as long as they're equivalent to a U.S. similar degree. So a bachelor's degree in the Caribbean or wherever you are, as long as it's equivalent to a bachelor's degree in the U.S., then it would be used. It's credible evidence. And I can say it is that way, basically. There's only a little difference to it, is in the Caribbean, for instance, lawyers just need a bachelor's degree, and then they do like a 2-year certificate program, and then they're a lawyer in the Caribbean. While in the US, you need a bachelor's degree and a Juris Doctorate degree, 2 degrees. And a Juris Doctorate degree is an advanced degree, while in the Caribbean, the attorneys don't have they don't have a advanced degree requirement. There's no advanced degree requirement to be an attorney in the Caribbean. So they would practically would apply on the exceptional ability, or they would apply on the advanced degree with the bachelor's after they have attained 5 years of experience in the field of that study. So, but like here in the U.S., if you get your Juris Doctorate degree, immediately you will fall under the advanced degree category. But in the Caribbean, as an attorney, because you only got a bachelor's degree to be an attorney, then you're going to just fall, you're going to fall into that category only 5 years after practicing. So 5 years more would be needed, and then you'll be an advanced degree person because you have the bachelor's degree and the 5 years experience. While here, you would just immediately fall into the advanced degree without having experience, before. So again, the national interest waiver, easy to prove. It's straightforward. I prefer it. And a lot more people have a better chance of winning a green card, a U.S. green card, using this method. Even let's say you have no degrees and you have a business, and with that business, if you're successful at a certain type of business, numerous business, could be Caribbean restaurants, could be a hair salon, it could be any form of business. You can also apply based on your exceptional ability on making businesses successful. So if you have successful businesses and you have no degree, you can still prove exceptional ability based on a business person, based on their business. So you can then be approved for national interest waiver because this person has numerous businesses, no degrees, numerous businesses, but they were successful. They are successful, and this person had years of running, operating, owning a business. You could qualify under the fact that you are a business person with many years of successful operating and owning businesses. Or it may even be one business, one really good business that's doing tremendously amazing. So let's say Elon Musk, for instance. Elon Musk didn't go to college or anything like that. Or Microsoft, Bill Gates. Bill Gates didn't go to college. He just stayed in his basement and, made the computer. He would be able, if it was somebody else from the Caribbean or some other country that did that, that person would be able to qualify for exceptional ability without having to prove a advanced degree at all. They wouldn't have to prove that they have an advanced degree because that person can prove exceptional ability. And that's how important this is, because you don't have to prove a degree, because a lot of successful people within fields, numerous fields, didn't get a degree. They may not have even started college, and some started and dropped out of college. What's the Facebook guy, I think? The other one is Bill Gates. Different, numerous people. So this is important, and I would tell you, if you believe that you have exceptional ability in certain areas, it's unlimited. A nail expert, a nail technician, can prove exceptional ability. A hairstylist can prove exceptional ability. Attorney can prove exceptional ability. Social scientists, criminologists, victimologists, psychologists can prove exceptional ability. A business owner can prove exceptional ability. Every business, every field is a field, basically. And if you can prove exceptional ability, that you stand out, basically, in these fields, then you're able to get the benefits and so forth. So thank you so much for listening, and follow my channel. And any more about immigration law, I would be able to help you. Just contact me, contact Francis. Thank you.